Check. Guess you're wondering why I'm shaking up this soda. We'll get to that later on. Right now I gotta listen to my boys White Stripe. Get me pumped up for week 8. Shit, Commissioner. The can shaking, money making, no faking, Big Leap, aka Big Meech. Coming to you shaking pineapple soda. For reasons Senor Lardieri can tell you later. I'll tell you later. But anyway, it's the Baker's Dozen Fantasy Football Weeks 7 and 8. Just got to talk to you guys for a little bit. Sorry, but I missed last week. Got a hectic lifestyle over here, man. Got wives upstairs, children in the bedroom, hoes cross town, and freaks downtown. Gotta edit that last part out. Just joking, Alana. Oh, I'm telling. But anyway, sorry I missed last week. Just couldn't get to it, man. And got some hate mail from Mr. Larderi today telling me if I didn't give him his props for beating me this past week, he'd do something, some bodily harm or whatever to me. But not really worried about that. You know, I lost my little game to him this week, and we bet a 6-pack of pineapple soda. So I gotta send this soda to him. But before I do that, I'm shaking up every one of these cans in this 6-pack. I know it ain't gonna explode on him, but it's going with my prop. Funny for me, helping me cope with the loss. Week 7. Got off, oh man, it was a crazy week, man. Lots of bye weeks. We're still in the middle of all the byes, so everybody's having to just fill holes in their rosters while their horses sit, which kind of sucks. And I really like to say it was that reason that I lost, as bad as I lost, almost 50 points. And honestly, he just beat the brakes off me. You know, the horses I did have playing that week just couldn't get it together. Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson still aren't on the same page, so it's really hurt me. And Ray Rice, man, I don't know what the hell he was doing. You know, that game was terrible. Not even thinking about all that. But anyway, we'll start with week 7. The Garden State Greatness, Senor Larderi, riding high in the middle of a 4-game winning streak, doing big things from one of the lousiest states in the continental U.S. Just wanted to, I don't know, let's go through. He had Adrian Peterson was his top scorer at 23.5 points, and he still scored $130. So that kind of tells you the kind of balance he had. He had about 4 or 5 guys in double figures. Tony Romo, 20 points. Ryan Matthews let him down at 6.5, but he still got 18 from the kicker Mason Crosby, and the Bears defense gave him a little over 19. Jimmy Graham, 17. Just got balanced efforts from everybody en route to beat my behind. Like I said, I didn't get performances from anybody. Phillip Rivers gave me 9 points. Vincent Jackson, 1 point. Des Bryant, 15.7 points, was kind of like the highlight for me. But on to bigger and better things. Like I told you chumps early in the season, I don't draft for weeks 1 through 5, 6, 7, and 8 or whatever. I draft for the finals, baby. So my players will come around. Any of you who think Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson won't get their stuff together are sorely mistaken. So there, while I'm shaking up all your soda, going through the scores. Team Dre Day beat Team Moneymaker, an upset in close fashion, 95 to 93.6. Man, it seems like 2 radio stations, but Cam Newton continued his just MVP and Rookie of the Year ways. This guy is doing big things. 29.9 points, threw for a touchdown and ran for a touchdown himself. And the Lions defense continued to score for Team Dre Day at 22 points. John was playing a couple guys off the bench due to their bye weeks. Didn't get the same type of effort he got from Rashard Mendenhall a couple weeks ago, as he and Beanie Wells combined to score 7 points. Aaron Rodgers continued to just blaze up the scoring charts at 35.8 points. But other than the Cowboys defense and Calvin Johnson, nobody else decided to score or show up for Team Moneymaker, so they took the loss. We got the Blackwater Black Card men in the game of the week, the tightness game of the week. This is like the virgin game of the week because it was that tight. 64.9 for the Tri-State Birds. Finding a way, this is a true test of a winner, finding a way to get a win in spite of things. the Blackwater boys, whatever, made the brilliant decision to start Curtis Painter, and he gave them the grand total of 0.1 points behind a 62-7 thumping on Monday night. Peyton Hillis didn't play that week. That was lousy scouting. That's what I tell you, Dane. You don't pay attention. Peyton Hillis didn't even play last week, and yet he's on your starting lineup, which makes you prime candidate for Bonehead of the Week. Corey got 21 points from Christian Ponder. Great bye week fill-in for Tom Brady, who was on a bye week. That's a great GM call right there. Surprised my brother made it, but it's a great GM call nonetheless. Michael Bush chipped in with 11.1 points, and he may be seeing more action as Darren McFadden seems to be struggling with the groin and hamstring injuries. We got Mr. Off Constantly, who seems to have been on his game ever since he changed his name. I think he may be riding a 4 or 5 game win streak. He's at 5-2. Put the thumping down. Thanks to, we're going to call this is the bronze Off Constantly, or Off Constantly per bronze. Bronze in parentheses or whatever, because ever since that trade went down, Team Merlin has taken off. He has 144 points. And the freaking Ricans, my man Sam is never say die. This brother, in spite of losing just basically all his horses, this man still competes. He put up 112 points in a losing effort. But one thing I know about my man Sam is he's not going to quit. Arian Foster got the high score of the week, 42.4 points. Actually, I think Drew Brees might have beat that, but Arian Foster was one of the high scores of the week, 42.4 points, and Matt Forte, 24.3 points. That's one astounding backcourt, man, backfield, or whatever you want to call it. These guys both touched the balls 25 times and ran for almost 300 yards combined. We're looking really dominant there, Timmy, really dominant there, so let's see if you can keep that up. Tim Tebow, another great pickup by Sam, the freaking Rican. We're going to call Sam the waiver wire king. If you sleep, he will beat you to it, man. He doesn't any grass growing to Sam's feet. But Maurice Jones-Drew got 30 carries, but he ran for 105 yards, but he didn't get in the end zone, which is the only reason why he only had 8.4 points. Plus, he lost a fumble, which really hurt him. Greg Jennings, 21.7 points, did a big job for the freaking Ricans, but it wasn't enough as Team Off Constantly seems to be hitting stride right now as everybody's jostling for a position. Team Merlin, or my man Theo Merlin, is doing big things over there. We'll see if he can keep it up. Who wants it with D-Block? May want to get their roster together or change their name until they do, because I want it with D-Block right now. Them boys couldn't beat a no-armed man in the telephone booth right now. These guys are terrible. But anyway, who wants it with D-Block got a great effort from Ben Roethlisberger, and Darren Sproles found, the end zone once by air and once by ground. But other than that, the rest of their starting lineup, the skill positions, didn't score at 10 points combined. The kicker outscored them with 11, and the Jets defense, even though it scored 17.4 points, was a very, very just minuscule and let's just call it mortal 17.4 points for one of the better defenses in fantasy. Drew Brees did outscore Arian Foster as he scored 46 points for Team SOS, and Ernest Graham lost for the year with an Achilles injury. Didn't really slow up Team box score as Marcus Colston and Montario Hardesty filled in the gaps. We got the Ravens defense, 22.6 points behind, 1 fumble recovery and 4 sacks, holding the Jacksonville Jaguars to 12 points, but it wasn't enough as they lost the game 12-7. All right, what else we got going on here? We got the last one from week 7 is the Bird Gang taking on the surprisingly competitive Cowboys Country America's team, but they weren't competitive this week as the Bird Brain actually took the guns from the Cowboy Country's closet and shot them with them, as the recently traded players from Cowboys Country showed up for Team Bird Gang, I believe. Jermichael Finley, yeah, all those guys. Jermichael Finley, 7.3 points, but he did get a touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald is doing his thing, 7.8 points. Ryan Grant, Ryan Terrain, Matt Schaub, all did work. And the Falcons defense put up 26 points en route to the 81 points Team Bird Gang used to beat the Cowboys Country. Cowboys Country, Flacco scored 9.2 points in a dismal just Monday Night Football game. And Matt Bryant led all scorers. When your kicker leads all your scores in scoring, you know you're in trouble. Matt Bryant scored 13 points, and that spelled doom for my man America's team. So we'll see what kind of moves he makes this week, because this guy's definitely been a mover and shaker all season long. So getting into week number 8, the halfway, we're actually past the halfway point. We're in the start of the second half of the season. Actually, I should have did a little grades, but I'll do grades next week. I'll do grades next week for each team. We got the Lord of the Rings taking on the freaking Ricans. That's friendly fire at its best. Sam, I love you like a play cousin, but I'm about to beat you like you stole something, brother. SOS, my man's Bronze, trade him up, Richardson. Maybe he's calling out for SOS, like he needs help. He really does. At 3-4, not really. He's doing all right. You make the playoffs at 6-8 in this league, so keep plugging away, guys. He's taking off constantly. Mr. Merlin, the team he traded his bullets to. Let's see if he can avoid getting shot like Neo in the Matrix. Let's just see, because he loaded my man Merlin up, and now he's about to face the wrath. But it would be apropos if he beats him with Cedric Benson, who's on suspension. Still can't believe he made that trade. Who Wants It with D Block is traveling to the Garden State Greatness, who's fresh off a Rose ass whipping. He may have that sexual chocolate on his boots a little bit, Sam. Key and Eric, so be wary of that. Be aware. Who Wants It with D Block is sitting at 3-4. The Garden State Greatness at 4-3, riding a 4-game winning streak. The Tri-State Birds and Bird Gang are at 3-4 apiece. They're taking on each other. Team Dre Day and the Black Card Men. This is like the Who Cares Bowls, because these guys don't even manage their team. Dre's the only guy that can make a trade in this league and still not manage a team. There's a 50-50 chance he's going to start somebody who's on a bye this week. Mark my words. Team Moneymaker. This is the Dallas Cowboy fans. Whoever wins this game will be crowned the greatest Cowboy fan in this league. And I give it to these two ahead of Who Wants It with D-Block, just because D-Block is terrible this year and all their guys are injured. But the winner of this game will definitely get the crown worst or best Cowboys fan in the league. So there you have it, folks. This is Commissioner Big League kicking out with Novocaine by my man Frank Ocean. Just chilling. Giving you the weekly roundup for 2 weeks. We'll get into mid-season report, mid-season grades next week. See how you guys are all faring. Appreciate you guys keeping up with the league, keeping up with all the trades and all the trash talking stuff. Good luck this week. It's your Commissioner Big League. I'm signing off. Good luck.